Welcome to the Ultimate Gaming Realm, and this is your creator, Dixon, logging on. Welcome everyone to the Ultimate Gaming Realm Summertime Games. More likely, I would have to say a summertime adventure. In this episode, I'll be doing another NES game. And once again, it's an LJN game. The game I'll be doing today is Jaws for the NES, developed by Westone Bit Entertainment and published by LJN. It's based off a successful 1975 film directed by Steven Spielberg. Of course, there were inferior sequels that Spielberg had nothing to do with. I thought the second one was still good, but the last two Jaws films were just too lame. The game was released in 1987, and it's actually loosely based off the fourth Jaws movie, Jaws Revenge, and that one was the worst in the series. I thought the third Jaws movie, Jaws in 3D, was mediocre, but the fourth Jaws movie, Jaws Revenge, is just downright horrible. But I wouldn't say the same for the game. Even though it's loosely based off the fourth installment, it's still a playable game. I didn't say the game was great or anything, but it's not that bad either. But then again, it's an LJN game, and they screw up a lot of movie license games most of the time. There's only one way to find out where I can place this game between the good and the bad. Play the game. When the game starts up, it automatically goes to the title menu, which does look and sound promising. It has a decent 8-bit version of the original John Williams Jaws theme, which does sound pretty good. Now let's see how the gameplay is. The intermission music's pretty cool. I suppose the protagonist is one of Chief Brody's sons on the Amity Island, looking for a great white known as Jaws. Now you start off on your boat, travel around until you hit something, which turns out you didn't hit anything. After you supposedly hit something, it automatically gets you off your boat and gets you into your scuba diving gear and gets you underwater and battle sea creatures like stingrays, jellyfishes, and regular-sized sharks, and sometimes Jaws, if he's close by. And that's all you're going to be battling throughout the game. Now the jellyfish, stingrays, and normal sharks, you're supposed to kill them for points, like get the stars and crabs to get bigger points. And more importantly, the seashells. Why the shells? Because they are not only score, they are your currency, and you will need them, definitely, to upgrade your equipment and character. And you can purchase upgrades at either of the two harbors. After you battle underwater, you'll get back on your boat, and you'll be traveling on your boat, and you're always going to be hitting something at random times, which turns out you never do hit anything. It's just another trap to get you underwater, but you don't actually have a choice but to deal with the battle. And it happens all the time in the game. The same sea creatures, sometimes with a different background, which the different background can be a different wallpaper with moving objects as far as I'm concerned, because you're fighting off all these characters on one lousy screen that looks like a fish tank, and it gets repetitive really fast. And you can't abort it. You can never abort the mission. You have to fight these things off until they're dealt with, or until you're dead. And by the way, you have 3 lives. If you get hit once by anything, then you're dead. As you can see, that Jaws has its own life meter at the bottom right screen, no matter if you're battling him or not. With your power level 1, which is the lowest, you don't have a chance against Jaws because it's not up to you to stay there and fight him off. And what gets worse, after you're back on the surface, Jaws recovers his health. Yeah, that's really fair. Jaws can recover, and I only have 3 lives and 1 hit point for each life. It also seems like collecting stars and crabs isn't anything except sometimes a death trap. I said sometimes because if you get at the edge of the screen and collect one of the stars or crabs, there's definitely a possible chance a sea creature is going to come out from that side out of nowhere and kill you. So screw the bonus points, just only aim for the shells, because we're going to need them to fight off Jaws. Every once in a while after a battle, you will get a bonus stage where you like dropping the bombs on dancing jellyfish back and forth for a minute. You can control the speed of the plane to move the plane either slower or faster so you can try to hit the jellyfish. And the more jellyfish you kill, the more shells you collect. Yeah, the bonus stage is kind of like Galaga, except the bonus stage sucks. First visit to the docks after you have enough shells, you will get a receiver to find Jaws, which I think it's quite useless because I'm always going to run into Jaws regardless. So the receiver is pretty much just a waste. You can also find a submarine in random places. It has 2 weapons, and that can come in handy because it's actually an extra hit point too. But look at the submarine. It looks like a scuba diving tank. Look how small it is. It can be even smaller than you. According to the graphics, that is. But it's still powerful and faster than you are. It can shoot more rapidly as well. But it's also as weak as you are. It also has a one-hit death from anything. What the hell? I mean, submarines are actually tougher than that. It's actually more of an armor, weapon upgrade, and a speed booster to him than a submarine. The game does not make much sense whatsoever. And I forgot to tell you one thing. If you have more than one power upgrade and tons of shells, and if you die, your power level decreases by 1, and you lose some shells. And of course, if you lose all your lives, there's no continues. Yeah, of course, this is an LGN game. You know how they can be. So if this game cheats, I'm going to cheat, because I don't have too much time or patience for this unfair baloney of rules. Now it's time to fire up the Game Genie. Alright. Now I finally upgraded enough to drain the power meter of Jaws, and after you drain Jaws' health, then comes the finale. Here's how it goes. You have 3 chances to destroy Jaws. It's with the spike of your boat, and if you fail, then Jaws recovers his full health, and you have to go for all that hassle again. So like I said before, you have 3 tries to use the spike correctly, and the timing has to be right. It took me a few tries myself to get it right, till I figured it out eventually. Yeah, I know it's a hassle. Special thanks to LGN for that part. Come on, get into the center. Yeah! Got the bastard. And Jaws falls underwater to his death. And the last thing you see is a scenic area that looks like a postcard with a plane flying in the background and saying, the end. All I can tell you, this game is one of these high-stress cryptic LGN crap they pull on their players to make a quick buck. Now that's wrong. You know, unlike my previous summertime game episode, TNC Surf Designs, which is also an LGN game, and I said that one was quite underrated. But this summertime game episode, this one I can't really disagree with the critics that much. To be honest with you, it's not the worst game, but then again it's not good either. At least it's better than the 4th Jaws movie, that I can tell you for sure. The music is good, the gameplay is not that bad, but it does get repetitive really fast. Jaws, the great big white itself, doesn't even look like the one from the movie. In the movie he's much huger than that. Jaws on the title menu looks okay, but if you're facing him repeatedly underwater, he looks like a sissy, except when you're finishing him off at the end. If you're playing this game a legitimate way, this will tire your thumbs out, because you're going to be doing a lot of button mashing, Unless if you're using an auto-fire controller, it would make things a lot quicker, but it's still a waste of time. Well, the whole game can actually be a waste of time in general. Do I recommend this game to anyone? Well, I would personally recommend it over the last 2 Jaws movies. Other than that, if you don't feel like wasting your time, then I would say no, I don't recommend it. Well, that pretty much wraps everything up for this episode. Thank you all very much for watching. Please do like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, or leave a comment below. Until next time, this is Dixon of the Ultimate Gaming Realm logging off. And I hope you all enjoy your summer.